Hi guys, before the video starts, just a little quick intro. I wanted to thank you for all the support on the channel and all the nice comments that I keep receiving under the videos. I really appreciate them. Also, if you end up finding this video helpful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe so that you won't miss out on other tutorials that I might be doing in the future. So with that being said, in this video I'm going to show you how I make zoom in and zoom out transitions from my edits. We're going to start off with very easy and basic ones, and then we'll move on to variants of them. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to use only these two clips, as those are enough to show you all the transitions that you can make. Also, your clips should be ready, so they should be synced up to the song. I have a video on the channel where I show you how I sync up the clips to the song, so if you want to check it out, I will leave it in the description. But once your clips are ready, you can just go ahead and search for blue markers. You need Sapphire plugin in order to use it. You can just drag it to both clips. You probably already know what these values do, but I'm just gonna go over them real quick. So the Z distance, we just move it, we just zoom in and zoom out the clip. The rotate will just obviously rotate the clip. The shift X will move it left and right, and the shift Y will move it up and down. Before making any transition, what I do is I give myself a default value to work with. In this case, the Z distance is set at 1, but I don't really like the default value, so I just put it at 0.950 because it looks better. So it's a little bit more zoomed in. You can also put it at 0.8, but I don't really like that one, so I'm just gonna put it at 0.950. So once you've chosen the default value that you're gonna work with, you can go ahead and animate the Z distance. Now we're gonna make a very easy zoom in transition. You wanna go over the last keyframe of the clip, and you wanna set this at something like a 0.8. Then you want to go 5 frames back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you want to put this again at 0.950. Then you want to change the fade of these two keyframes. You want to make them fast. You can close it and you can go on the second clip. In the second clip, you're gonna do the same thing but reverse. So on the first keyframe, you're gonna put this 0.950, and you want to go 5 frames after, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to put this at 0.8. And again, both keyframes fast fade, and as you can see here, if I pre-render it, you can obviously make the same thing for the zoom out transition. So let's say that this keyframe here is set at 0.8 and you want to make a zoom out transition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the last keyframe and I'm going to put it at 0.950. Both have to be fast fade. Then I go over the second clip and I'm gonna change these two keyframes. This is gonna be 0.8. The first one is gonna be 0.8 and the second one is gonna be 0.950. So if I pre-render this, another thing that you can do with these transitions is you can use bigger values. As you can see, we've only changed the value from 0.8 to 0.950. But what if you want to use bigger values to make a harder transition? Because with these values, the transition is just a kind of a soft transition. In order to do so, first thing that you want to do is you want to change the wrap X and wrap Y to reflect. If you don't put these two at reflect, once you change the Z distance to a bigger value, the clip is going to have a black area around it. Let me just show you what I mean by that. So let's say that this keyframe is going to be something like 0.5. As you can see here, if I put reflect, the clip will be reflected for both axes. But if I don't choose reflect, the clip will have a black area around it, and we don't really want that. So we're just going to put this back to reflect. Then we can move on to the second clip. For the second clip, the second keyframe is going to be the same, but the first one, since we chose to use a harder transition, this value, we want to make it something like 0.5. And if I pre-render it, the transition will be a bit harder than before. So those were the bases for zoom in and zoom out transitions. Now I'm going to move on to using also these other values that I mentioned earlier. You can use these values to make different type of transitions, such as zoom in onto the gun, or zoom in, rotation, and all that kind of stuff. I'm just going to show you a couple of them just to give you an idea what you can make, but then I'm going to leave it up to you to mess around with those values and, you know, come up with original transitions. So to make a zoom in transition onto the gun, what you want to do is you wanna open this window and animate the Z distance, Shift X and Shift Y. Then you wanna go over the last frame of the clip and you go 5 frames back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you wanna drag this keyframe right here. Now you go to the frame before the last one. You don't want to go to the very last because otherwise you can't see the changes that you're making. So just go one before the last one, and now we can start actually changing those values. So since we know that in the next clip the gun is on the bottom right corner of the clip, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a zoom that goes around these areas, around the bottom right corner of the first clip. So what I usually do is I put the Z distance to something like 0.7, and then I regulate the shift X and shift Y. So I'm just gonna drag it to the left, just something like this, I guess it's fine. And then also regulate the shift Y. Okay, something like this should be fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, just make a zoom that goes pretty much to the right corner of the clip. Then you wanna make sure that these keyframes are on fast fade. Now copy this keyframe and you can go on the next clip. In the second clip, animate the Z distance, shift X and shift Y. Go to the very beginning of the clip, 5 frames after the first keyframe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and paste the keyframe here. Now make the first keyframe fast fade, and you're done. If you want to make it even better, what you can do is in the second clip, go at the last frame of the clip, go 5 frames back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so from 0.7, put it at something like 0.5. Obviously make sure to regulate the shift X too and the shift Y as well. Something like this. Make this keyframe a slow fade this time. Then go to the very last keyframe and reset. So put the Z distance to 0.950, the shift X to 0, and the shift Y to 0 as well. And this last keyframe, make it fast fade. So if I pre-render all of this, so you have the transition in the first clip on the gun, it slowly zooms on the gun, and then it goes fast out. So after this clip, what you can do is you can add another clip and make it a zoom out transition. So that was it for this video. Hope you guys learned something. If that's so, leave a like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment under this video. I try to reply to all of them. And yeah, that's it for me. Hope you guys have a great day or night, and bye.